with Mitty and Raider B. Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Hey, hi. How are ya? Our normal intro for you guys is going to change up a little bit today because I have been perusing the YouTube here as of late, and I noticed a certain someone has been starting to post a little more on their channel. And well, since they are a very valued member of my podcast team here, I would like to take a minute and point out to all of you that you should go check out Raider B's YouTube channel.
Oh
Uh,
God.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I saw it. If you are a fan of like survival games and dinosaurs, she is helping to promote a game called The Isle. So I love that all of y'all come over here and show the support the way you do. And I would love to see you hop over to Raider B's YouTube and go show the same love and support over there that you do over here. So make sure you guys do that, okay?
I wasn't ready for that. I
Yeah,
hate you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Can you do me a favor? Can you type in the chat so they just can click and go?
I just did.
Hi.
So, all right. Yeah, thought I wouldn't notice.
It was more of a let's see what happens if I post my videos on there kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and now you know.
So, all right, we have a bunch of stuff to do today, guys. Some really fun, interactive things. But we're gonna kill two birds with one stone. Before I do that, I'm gonna give you all a reminder, not that you need it. We are Why Superman Sucks. We do a lot of breakdowns of all things comic related, anime related, fantasy related, and every once in a while we do these things called verses, where we take two characters from any fantasy genre, anime, comic, whatever, Harry Potter, Star Wars, all that stuff, all right? And then we put them in a fight against each other, and one person will break down one character, another breaks down the other characters, and what makes things fun and special over here is we are going to take each character and we are going to put them at their absolute most powerful in a neutral universe where neither character has any advantage over the other outside of skills and power set. And then we leave it up to a panel of judges to decide. Today, you guys are going to be the panel of judges. But before we jump into that versus, we are going to do a little breakdown of just the universe where these characters come from, because X-Men 97 the new season drops July 1st. I'm super pumped for it. And I wasn't sure if I was gonna be, because they're doing the old adage of let's do the time travel scenario again, right? And it's already been done. They did it in the original X-Men the animated series run, right? Where we had Cable and Bishop going on adventures through time with the rest of the X-Men to try to thwart Apocalypse. And it looks like this is what's happening again. But I like the way that they're doing it. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do, because the character lineup, the cast that they pick for the teams is absolutely wild. We're getting and no confirmation if it's X Factor that I'm aware of, or if this is just they're giving us a bigger X-Men team. But people like Strongman, Multiple Man, Havok, Polaris is going to be there. We'll break down a few of these. Go ahead.
I literally just wrote down the full list beforehand. And
Fucking throw it down.
all right, so we got our usuals: Professor X, Jean Grey, Cyclops, I'm going in order here. They did it Forge, Beast, Nightcrawler, Morph, Bishop, Rogue, Storm, Wolverine, Jubilee, Sunspot, Archangel, Cable, Psylocke, Siren, Strong Guy, Havok, Multiple Man, Wolfsbane, Emma Frost, Polaris, and Magneto is what they showed in that little roll call video. And like you said, though, I mean, like the X Factor side, you have all the members of that X Factor team. So it's going to be really hard for them, I think, not to, sit there and label them as X Factor to give them some kind of separation.
I would like to throw an honorable mention in there. The fact that they didn't throw his name down tells me he's not going to be around for maybe more than an episode. But the fact that they took Exodus and they're like, you know what? We're going to have him finally get into a fight. Exodus is an Omega level. The easiest way to explain him is telepathic telekinesis user, but it's way more than that. Way more than that. He has the ability to shape the world around him as he sees fits if he wanted to. So it'll be putting in some heavy hitters like that is things that when I was a kid I started learning more about, like the X-Men universe, like, but they never used guys like that in the original cartoon. Apocalypse was Apocalypse, Galactus. Well, you had Onslaught in the early 2000s X-Men animated series that they did.
But it wasn't accurate, but that's just me.
No, it was not accurate. It was not. So it, like, seeing these heavy hitters gives me hope, right? So I'm very much excited for that. Let's see. Give me a name, and we'll break down like 4 before we go into the verses. So,
I mean, I'm trying to think the ones that would be most apt for this. Because everybody knows Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Professor X. Forge would be one that I think people know but probably don't have a full understanding.
So Forge has the ability to create technology. Any technology that he can think of, he can make it. That is essentially the simplest way to break down his power set. The X-Jet, the Blackbird, you've seen it in the live action and you've seen it in the animated series. Forge built that. If you go deep enough into lore, at one point in time, it was claimed that Magneto was the one that helped build the X-Jet. It was Forge that came up with the concept for it, which is why the stealth capabilities are beyond what humanity is capable of producing. Time travel exists because Forge built the machines. I don't remember what Native American tribe he's from.
Oh man, I always forget.
But
Cheyenne.
you don't see him fight much because, well, he's kind of I wouldn't call him a pacifist because he does fight, but he's more of a support role.
I mean, we saw
from
it.
The future.
No, so we did see him at the end of season 1, him fighting for Storm. So
Okay.
I mean, like,
yeah, well, like that is a whole fucking story there. Him and Storm, Jesus.
But I mean, back against the wall, he will do what's got to be done.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He built Bishop's gun. Some other notable things. Trying to think. There's a lot. If the X-Men are using it, it was more than likely built by Forge. He helped build the Danger Room.
There's a whole story into itself.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. I do believe he helped with Cerebro. I do believe.
And I think,
All right, throw me another name.
well, I mean, somebody mentioned it in chat, Nightcrawler, because we got to get some love to Kurt.
Man, so Kurt is a fun one. Honestly, we might do a deep dive on just him in a pre-recorded video for you guys. So I'll keep it kind of simple. No, I'll talk about the fun stuff. Originally, he wasn't even technically considered a mutant. So they had a hierarchy among, well, I mean, it's still there, right? They have their own little societal class system where you have different kinds of mutants. And then you had Nightcrawler, right? Who there were, what they call them, Seraphim or Nephilim, and then there were the demon race, right? They were mutants, so to speak, but they didn't consider themselves to be mutants. They considered themselves above mutants. So the original, because we're not going to talk about what they retconned it to.
Yeah.
The original origin story for Nightcrawler was his mother was Mystique and his father was Azazel. And Azazel is like a lord in the demon realm of mutants, who is absolutely insanely powerful. Like, can teleport and has a whole bunch of other things. Like, he gets his looks, his color from Mystique, but his looks and his abilities from Azazel. So he's got the teleportation, the tail, the acrobatics comes from him being in the circus. I'm trying to keep this vague because I will do a video on this. But the retcon was stupid.
Yeah.
There was no need for the retcon where Mystique was the father and blah blah. It was so it's needless. There was no point to it. Throw me another.
I'm just gonna point out that we've actually seen Azazel on the big screen twice now, because he was
Yep.
X-Men First Class, because he was one of the antagonists that was part of the Hellfire Club, but also he was a minor cameo as a variant in the Void for Deadpool and Wolverine. So if you want to get an idea, he was, the red skin guy. Best way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, killers like Rogue. And I mean, come on, do we not know Rogue? I mean, do we not know my girl? uh, she'd be a dive too because of her history. Uh, two that I always put together that are in this that I'm happy to see is Archangel and Psylocke.
That's a dynamic.
Yeah. Dear God, talk about a semi-toxic relationship.
I mean, but they're pretty simple. I mean, Archangel, Warren Worthington III is the son and heir to like one of the top 10 wealthiest families in New York or Pennsylvania, wherever the X Mansion resides. I can never remember. I think it's New York, Westchester, I believe. Yeah. He can fly. Like he has wings. His bones are not as dense as a normal human's. They're light enough that he can sustain flight. He has.
Apparently he can
What?
fight and not get, you would think if you have like lighter bones, taking some of the hits he did, you'd just be shattered,
Mm-hmm. I mean, he has like a moderate healing ability. And as per anyone that's ever been a member of the X-Men, a resistance to mind control, but only when the plot wants you to have it.
But yeah, it's always because the professor has ingrained that into their brain somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the important distinction too, though, is that isn't Angel we are getting Archangel.
Archangel. And Archangel is a whole other beast entirely. Angel had it was gruesome. It was gruesome in the comics. He gets captured and tortured, and they rip his wings off. And because the wings just won't grow back, I'll get to that one. That'll be the next one we do there, Phoenix. He hunts down Apocalypse and makes a deal with Apocalypse saying, if you give me my wings back, I will be your servant. And so Apocalypse gives him these, I think it's vibranium is the wings. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, the bladed wings.
Yep. The metal wings, and dubs him the Horseman of Death. So Apocalypse. What?
So they're techno-organic.
Oh, yeah, it's the celestial metal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the celestial metal. But yeah, he gets the metal wings and he becomes the Horseman of War. And we'll get to later on. We'll get to the Horsemen of Apocalypse because they're a big part of how he operates. But Phoenix brought up Nate Gray. Nate Gray is the child of Scott and Jean. Well, Cable is, I believe, Madeline's. Nate is Jean's.
Madeline.
Yeah. So Nate is Mutant Jesus, is what he's referred to a lot as. An Omega level reality warper. He's a telepath. He can use telekinesis. Yeah, that's his shtick though, is that he's like, no, God, who would I compare him to? Out of all,
there's not.
Okay.
There's
there's really not, because I want to say Franklin Richards, but he's nowhere close to that level. He's a low level reality warper.
I mean, in his background though too, he's not standard created. You know, he's a genetic creation from Sinister. That was in the alternate, because that was Age of Apocalypse.
Yes.
Let's see here. Telepathy, telekinesis, chronokinesis, and energy manipulations were his main powers. So he can manipulate time flow, absorb vast amounts of ambient energy, and project devastating blasts of concussive force. So he's kind of Bishop in that aspect, just he don't need the machinery to do the time travel.
Yeah. Nate's one of the kids. Scott and Jean. There's Cable. There's Nate. There's Rachel, and there's Hope. Those are their 4 kids, and because they have like the absolute perfect genes, mutant DNA, Sinister hunts and tries to capture Scott and Jean all the time, and does experiments on them and mutates the children's DNA, and it's a whole weird obsession he has with them.
And we can do a deep dive at some point on the Summers, because the interconnectivity in everything. When you look at, what was it, the Ascani Sun, the Cyclops and Phoenix limited series, where they raised Cable in the future, and talk about like just a family that deals with so much, right? You know. See here. Elijah, I'm probably saying shit wrong.
Ollie.
Oh, that's Ollie. That's a long name, Ollie. It wants more on Psylocke, because we did say Archangel, but didn't really get into Psylocke.
Yes, Psylocke is oh God, she's a psychic ninja. Like, well, it's because there's not like a lot there. That she's psychic, so she's can manifest her psychic energy into a blade. She's proficient with. Uh, she's a ninja. She's a ninja with psychic powers. That's Psylocke in a nutshell.
Well, and she's Omega level telepathy.
Is she? I don't think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, no, she's listed as Omega level. Protect illusion, recontrol minds, generate devastating psionic constructs.
You're reading this off, okay?
Yeah, psychic knight. Yeah, no, I had to check it because I'm like, no, and I was like, no, yeah. Plus, she's got her ninja aspect because, and I know they're probably retcon this at some point, but she's the twin sister of Brian Braddock, the original Captain Britain,
Mm-hmm.
and then the body swap storyline with Mojo. I remember that, where she got put into the body of a Japanese assassin, Kwanon, I Kwannon. You're better at these words than I am, even though I think you make half of them up.
Well, now I'm not even gonna try. Now you can just sit there and suffer. All right.
Okay, fine. But then she got her body back, and it's like that was the thing with her and Archangel, because she was never a thing when he was just Angel. But like both of them had such tragic aspects in their past and all the stuff they went through that was like their bond. Really was the tragedy they went through and helping each other through it.
All right, give me one more name.
Come on, anybody in the chat want to do it? Because I got one I want to bring up because I know he'll love talking about it, but I'll give you guys a chance.
They've thrown so many names down, and
Right?
most of them aren't even on the list.
I know. Because you know I was gonna talk. I got my rogue thing. There's a reason she's tattooed on me. But come on, Polaris.
What's Xavier's son's name? Oh, Legion. David Holla is his name.
I was gonna say which personality's in charge. Then I'll tell you the name.
Yeah, Ollie has given a million names.
Yes, but not all of them were on the list. I mean, Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool's gonna be in the new season though.
Yeah, he was confirmed. He was confirmed. I mean, we got confirmation of Danger, Deadpool. Those are like the two that kind of weren't on the list.
Well, and the list that they gave is not the full.
Oh yeah, there'll be more.
The full thing. There'll be so many.
I'm kind of like scrolling back up because again, we might do something that's the whole summer's thing because if you're asking about Jean and Madeline, that's a story. Quicksilver, I didn't. I feel like he might make an appearance in this.
I mean, we won't know. We won't know till the show drops.
But I feel.
Go ahead, give it.
That's debatable, Phoenix.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say Polaris because if we're also gonna be talking about Havok in the verses, I mean, why not go with his main squeeze?
Yeah, I mean, Polaris is the only legitimate child of Magneto. All right, we're going to squash this right here. I don't care what anyone else's opinion is on this. They already talked about it in the comics. It's what led to the House of M incident. Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are not the children of Magneto. And they are not brother and sister either. Okay? Deal with it. Learn how to cope. Accept it. And move the fuck on from it. Period. Polaris is Magneto's only child, and her power set is the same as his, only she is so much better with it. So much better with it. Except she didn't go down the path that Magneto did. She did not choose a villain-esque lifestyle. And honestly, what kind of saved her from it was meeting Havok. But we'll get into him in a little bit. So, and she has green hair, like annoyingly green hair. Look up a photo of her and you'll understand. Like, there's no reason
She's
for it to be that green. No.
yeah, but they wanted her to stand out.
Did they just grow up together, like found family-ish, or did they just do that for the movies for funsies? So in the comics, when you're first introduced to Magneto and his two children, he found them or rescued them from the Grand Evolutionary. All right, they were children. They were technically weren't even mutants. They were humans that were experimented on. Their DNA changed. Is again, this all led to the House of M, which is a long thing to break down. The gist of it is Wanda finds out, learns she's not Magneto's daughter, learns that she's not even a mutant, learns that her and Quicksilver aren't even related, and that her entire life up until this point has been a lie. And that's when she utters some of the most terrifying words to be uttered in the X-Men universe. She just screams into the multiverse, "No more mutants," and ends up erasing over 50% of the mutant population in the multiverse, not just the universe that she lives in. And if you weren't one of the mutants that just got snapped out of existence, then your powers were taken away from you.
Yeah, and I had to look up because they've rewritten them 3 times.
Yes.
There's the
Yeah.
original before the Magneto reveal, then the Magneto reveal, and then the last one for Axis.
Yeah.
That was when, Wanda was so pissed off she basically was doing a blood curse to affect her father, and that's when it was like, oh wait, it affected
Mm-hmm.
Pietro but didn't affect Magneto. What the hell? And that's when it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh well, their true biological mother was a Romani sorceress, Natalia Maximoff, and she was the original Scarlet Witch. And I don't know. Sometimes when they do this retcon, it's like, I understand you're trying to flush out a story, but you erased, God, what, 1960s is when they were first introduced.
Yeah.
So you did 50 years later changing the story.
Hold on one second.
You want to read that?
So what I need y'all to understand here is when you get a character like Franklin Richards introduced into the live action, understand that there's a retcon coming. All right, that they are going to rewrite the MCU is what their plan is, and we're moving on to whatever is new. They do this in the comics all the time. So all that stuff with Vision explains her raw moment in the show, yes. For the MCU, yes.
I can tell you the last X-Men related movie I watched.
I mean, I kind of classify Deadpool and Wolverine as one because all the different cameos that
I
they
mean, I
use.
figure outside of that, I'm trying to think.
I mean, the last one was the Apocalypse one with the new team.
I
Right?
mean, going forward, none of those movies are going to matter.
Yeah,
Going forward, yeah. Um, sorry, I'm a little spacey today. Where do we go from here? All right, we were just talking about.
we were explaining the world and everything and some of the other characters before we got our boys up for their fight.
If Logan counts as an X-Men movie, then that's the last one I saw.
Yes, it does.
Because that's the one with the kid. What's her face?
X-23.
X-23,
Yeah.
Laura.
That's probably the last time I've watched an X-Men movie.
and Killer. I'll put it this way: when it comes to the movies and the comics, there is so much separation. Um, Going into the whole Wanda aspect and her and Vision is an entire podcast on itself if you want to go into the comic book aspect because there's a lot there.
Yes, there is. So X-Men 97 is going to be dark. All right, I have an idea of what Hive X-Men marathon eventually, potentially.
Yeah.
Um, remember before you watch the new season, if you've watched the season before, that in the comics, death is never permanent. Okay, it's repeated. It's repeated. If you died once, you're going to die again, and it's going to be more gruesome the second time than it was the first time. It's going to be more gruesome the third and fourth time than it was the previous times.
And from the X Men, we'd like to give the award for most deaths to Jean Grey.
Fair enough. But I think I don't. I think I here's my theory. All right, we're gonna get a resurrected Gambit, but it's gonna be all sorts fucked up, and he's gonna be possessed because we had a run where that is a thing that happened to him.
Well, see, I see three possibilities. Three possibilities. One, the time travel. They'll save him, right? That's the most glaringly obvious. Then you've got the Sinestro, or not Sinestro. Yeah, I got Sinister. Why am I just mixing up my DC and my Marvel? Because they're both weird looking guys, I guess. Uh, but he had the history there with Sinister, and Sinister's genetic bull walking could come into play, or Apocalypse brings him back to serve as a horseman.
Good. He'd make for a good war.
He was. I'm trying to remember which one he was in the comic. Uh,
He was war or death.
I can't remember. I think it was it Death? Yeah, Death. I was about to say because I don't think it was War because War was I can't remember who the fuck was War in that run because Apocalypse has actually at this point made so many horsemen in the different comic runs.
Hey, Bam.
What's up, man? So I mean that's the
I don't
way
know
I
how I
see.
feel about that name.
Wait, what? I didn't even see it.
His name is Master Yoda.
Mm,
I'm just gonna push away from the desk real quick.
This is awesome. All right, and I think this is a good time to segue into our verses, is what we're gonna do. All right, I'm going to break down the rules here, and I don't know if Laura's been around for to witness judging, so we'll kind of lay that out for him. We are going to take both of these characters, and we're going to break them down for you one at a time. All right. Mind you, these characters are going to be at their most powerful that they could ever get. This is it. This is the ceiling. They don't get stronger from here. They are in a neutral universe. So not one or the other will have an advantage in the universe that this fight happens over the other. How questions work, Lord, is it is normally you're asking about power set, you're asking about weaknesses, best feats of strength, what gives them the edge over the other, all that stuff.
Okay.
So with that, we're going to give Raider some talk time, and she can introduce to
I
you
knew you were gonna make
her
me start.
character.
You always make me start.
I know it's because you're quiet up until we get to this point.
Well, this is just gonna be bad, but all right. So I've got Sunspot. All right. Sunspot is a mutant. I feel like that's kind of a given with the line of conversations that we've had. There, I fixed it. Yeah, that was gonna bug me too, Bam. Um, wow. I have my notes here and I still went like blank. Child, out of my chair. Go. Be gone. Shoo, go beat up your brothers. Okay. Um, most of pretty much all of Sunspot's powers have to do with, guess what? You guessed it, solar energy. He can transform between incendiary and pure heat state. He has air manipulation, marine creative vortex, fire manipulation, heat manipulation, energy absorption, right? Because a lot of what he does is absorb straight from the sun. Solar radiation, I guess would be the correct um term. Um, come on now, Ollie, we know how this is gonna go. God, it's been so long since we've done a versus. Like, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like my flow of like how it would normally go is just all kinds of.
All you need to do right now is just introduce the character. We'll get into the details later.
Yep. Just some base stuff with Sunspot. He's got hypersonic speed. Wow. And he is categorized at planet level, and was comparable to Colossus. We'll go into weaknesses later. Cause fuck that. But yeah, sun. He gets all his strength from the sun. Um, superhuman strength. Uh, he did train with what's their faces? In martial arts and acrobat train. Child, I'm gonna hurt you. Yeah, we'll start with that for his basic. Um, basic introduction. Personal solar panel. Yeah, you can go with that. Yeah. Wolverine, that's who I was saying. He's trained by the likes of Wolverine and other mutants. And then he was in the Avengers. He was also, where is it? I have it written down. So he became an X-Men. He was part of the Avengers, and then was supreme leader of. Do you just call it AIM, or do you actually spell it out? AIM.
You just call it AIM.
AIM. Okay, yeah. So, um, it's a very well known, I would say. Um, but that would I would say. Hold up? What did I just say? I don't know. What did I just say? Oh, to my child, he's being up my butt right now. He's excited his sister's on the way here, so don't mind him in the background.
Kind of.
Oh.
You're not far off, Phoenix.
Yeah,
That's kind of how all Wolverine training goes.
pretty much.
All right, so I'll take over. I got this. All right, so I've got Havok. All right, Havok is a maniac. Havok's real name, Alex Summers, the younger brother of Scott Summers, but he is older than Vulcan, and then they have a half brother that doesn't get talked about often, Adam X, and he's older than Adam X. He has the same power set that pretty much all the Summers brothers have, except his is more focused. He has better control over it. and his absorption ability is on par with Vulcan. It's not better, but it's up there with him. So he was a member of the X-Men for a brief period and then moved on to X-Force and took over leadership of X Factor. Of X Factor. And the cool thing about X Factor is the only X-Men team that Charles Xavier does not spearhead. X Factor is the only X-Men team where you get paid to be on the team. It is canonically run by the United States government. So Havok. So there's my intro for Havok. I'm not going to get into his full power set and all his other stuff. That is for the Question Man to get out of us. Pick it up, Question Man.
Okay, so I am coming at this with a little knowledge on each, so that's going to put me in a weird spot to try to think of some questions. But I do have to first point out that I like Raider's description of Sunspot, only because, and I'm saying this just to piss Mitty off, he's basically, the X-Man's version of Superman.
You're fired.
It's funny that you mentioned that because when I was doing research, there was a fan matchup of Superman versus Sunspot.
And it makes sense. They're both absorbing the solar energy. So it's like, yay. Power level wise, like you said, planet level, same as Colossus. I always forget about the different level. Omega, I always remember because that's oh my god.
No, so we'll get into that. I need to correct you on that, but we'll get into that.
Okay. Okay, so wait, get that. So you said the Summers Brothers power thing. You can't go a little bit deeper into that because even as much as I'm a comic book guy, I cannot remember the source of their power.
Oh, I hate that you brought that up. Oh, I hate it. All right,
You're
so
welcome.
you shut your mouth. You don't talk to me in that tone. You put the lowercase on and speak to me. It is kinetic energy, okay, but not kinetic energy from this dimension. I hate that they named it. I hate it so much, and you knew what you were doing when you brought this up to me, and you can't convince me otherwise. But it is from a dimension that they stupidly titled the Punch Dimension. It is a dimension of pure kinetic energy. Like, there is no sentience amongst this dimension. It is just kinetic energy that the Summers brothers can draw from and utilize in their reality. Havok, however, is kind of a walking battery, so to speak. All right, the entire time that he is just existing, he is absorbing all sources of cosmic energy and then utilizing it through his kinetic blasts.
Mm-hmm. So we're basically talking about two walking batteries.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that hesitation.
It's because it's what I know once we get into like the weaknesses and whatnot, and that's where this is gonna bite me in the ass.
Well, that's why, like, as I'm looking at it, like you mentioned, Havok is better at the absorption than than like Cyclops. Um,
Yep.
and he said, I think probably same level as Vulcan. So, any energy, just kinetic energy. I mean, what are we talking here?
So the absorption is any energy that would fall underneath cosmic.
Okay.
So like your solar radiation and all that stuff.
Okay.
I could get better into it when we get to feats.
Okay.
You'll better understand it then.
Okay. So you can continue now because my brain has to
Yeah, no, like once we get to feats, you'll greatly understand. Uh, but that's his power set. He can shoot the same beams that Cyclops can, except where so the Summers brothers, their powers are dictated from trauma that they all went through. All right, like Cyclops fell out of an airplane, hit his head on the ground, and the only means that he has to use his optic blast it's from his eyes. Right, Havok can shoot them from his hands and from his chest, and because of what's that?
Well, say, didn't they both fall out of that plane? I'm trying to remember.
Yes,
Okay.
it did. Um, but Havok has a rig that he wears with his suit that helps control how much uh, gets released at one time from his chest. So
I mean, to be fair, doesn't Cyclops have something similar with his visor?
yeah,
So they
yeah.
both
Uh,
need kind of technology.
otherwise, yes, because well, and then don't take it as that much of a hindrance because the downside to them not having this tech is Cyclops. If the eyes are open, the energy is coming out. If Havok doesn't have the rig, he can moderately control, well, more than moderately control his powers. But when he goes to shoot the energy out of his chest, if he doesn't have the rig, then it's like with Cyclops's eye beams. It's going everywhere. Uh, Before they had the rig for him, if he were to use the chest beam, or not so much a beam, the chest blast, it was indiscriminate. It would hurt his allies too.
Okay. So more control, but I feel like part of that is the technology, which
Yes.
probably was developed by Porch. Uh,
So, but that's just a breakdown of the power. So, I mean, like, again, trained by Wolverine in martial arts. He can fly. He moves at hypersonic speed. Uh,
can I ask why the fuck Wolverine is training people in martial arts? I mean, I know he's a good fighter and everything, but come on.
Wolverine is more than a good fighter. In his like 250 years on the planet, he has mastered every form of martial arts that exists.
I just feel like there's better. I just feel like there's some better teachers there.
I mean, teaching wise, sure, but in terms of combat, like the fact that Wolverine has beaten Shang-Chi and Iron Fist in a 2-on-1 fight.
Okay, fair.
His one of Wolverine's stalemates was a fight with the Karate Kid, and in terms of martial arts prowess, there is no one in Marvel that is better at martial arts than the Karate Kid.
I was gonna make a Ralph Macchio comment, but I won't. Okay. You guys can
All right,
keep going.
next set of questions. Like that's that one.
Look, I'm trying to keep up. I'm using the whiteboard, okay?
You got Ollie throwing you lifelines of questions in chat too.
God damn it, Ollie! I left and I'm standing at it, so I don't see it. Hold on. Give me my screen. Okay, wait.
we gave you their speeds. They're both these people are hypersonic.
Okay, wait. Okay, no, that is a good one. Respective intelligence. Yes, because it's that respective intelligence and combat acumen. I used word.
All right, do you want to take this one first, Raider, or you want me to take it first?
Yeah, I can. I mean, we're just talking about intelligence, how they are in battle, I assume.
Mhm.
So I would say he's a very skilled tactician. Um, he was able to turn the ploy of the Maker against him to be able to take over AIM to begin with. He's also a businessman. He became the CEO of DaCosta International. So well known, very well smart in that aspect. And like I said, he ended up becoming the supreme leader of AIM. He was taken in with the Avengers. He, training and fighting with Captain America, Black Panther, and Daredevil. Um, Good golly, Ollie's just
Mhm.
shut up, Ollie. We don't need to talk about that one.
God damn it, man! I'm
I
writing on
just
whiteboard.
want chat to be aware that Raider has not won a versus yet. Okay?
Oh,
I
this
just
is the
want that to
angle
be
we're
known.
going. Wow, I'm totally losing out of spite today. Okay.
But I'm actually I found something that might help out my quote unquote weakness section, so it's okay. I think possibly.
All right. So is it my go now for intelligence?
Yeah,
All right.
intelligence.
Havok is a Summers brother. Okay. And one thing that the Summers are known for, all of them, is they are master battle
Pick up that piece of
technicians.
trash right there.
Like in their respective universe, and for like Scott within the multiverse, um, they are masters of navigating the battlefield. Both Havok takes a less authoritarian approach to how he leads
Daddy and Sissy are about to pull up.
X Factor,
Go watch the door.
but he is just as capable of navigating and manipulating the battlefield as Scott is. So there's no business not know-how from Havok. Havok is grown up in combat, is what he knows. He is the most comfortable when he is in a fight.
Okay, see, now that leads more towards soldier mentality than leader mentality.
So he's definitely got the leadership skills. I mean, outside of Havok, there was only one other change in leadership for X Factor, and that was Maverick.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And Maverick came before Havok.
Yes, he was. We've had that conversation where, yes, Maverick was there before Havok and was dating Polaris before Havok, and Havok basically said, "Hi, I'm the new Maverick."
Yeah, and then they got rid of Maverick altogether, which is we'll get into that at a later date. It's sad what they did with him. It's sad what happened to him.
And see, okay, so Ali, I appreciate the speed question, but she did say Sunspot's hypersonic, and I mean the Summer Brothers are not, except maybe Vulcan. Vulcan maybe.
Havok can move at hypersonic speed.
Okay, hold on, you gotta explain that shit.
So I forgot to mention this in the power set, but Havok is the wild card because in the Ultimate X-Men run, they decided they were going to give Havok the power of flight. That he was able to manipulate his kinetic energy in a way that gave him the ability to fly. And not only can he fly, but he on his feet he can run at hypersonic speeds. Remember, we're putting these guys, both of them, at their most powerful, the pinnacle of their abilities.
So I feel like that's pulling the whole like Storm riding on the wind kind of thing, where it's not her power, it's just her manipulating something else.
Havok's flight is totally of his power. He can't do it without his power.
Well, Storm couldn't fly without her power. That's what I'm saying. It's like
So it's of her power.
yeah. So okay. Okay. So wait, if they're both
So they can match each other's speed.
okay. Well, they're fuck. Okay. Damn it. I mean, like the speed was really like one of the things I was like, okay, damn it. Fuck you, Ultimates.
Yes, it would come down to though, can Havok maintain his speed, right? Because one of the things with Sunspot um, is he's capable of reaching speed of light, um, but because of him absorbing and metabolizing the solar energy, he can pretty much just keep it going.
Mm, mm, Okay.
We have no instance of Havok ever having the need to maintain that kind of speed. It's always been controlled technical bursts of it, right? Is what we've seen. It's been as needed, but we're only going to use it when it's going to give us the edge in the fight.
Yeah, because
And no, I'm not worried about it because we're going to get to that set of questions eventually.
So, I mean, the question would be, and Ollie did kind of bring this up, and it was already in my head. Um, is it possible to exhaust their power supplies to lock them, like in Sunspot's case? You know, you lock him out in a dark fucking room, let him use up his reserves, and that's it. Can you cut Havok off from, you know, his punch dimension? Um,
Shut the fuck up. All right. You want me to take this one, Raider?
Yeah, go ahead and
Okay.
head it off.
So with Havok, you cannot cut him off from it. We have yet to see any of the summers be locked out from accessing their kinetic energy. Um, as for the battery, there's not so much a limit to it as there's an overload moment that he can hit, but at that point, he just expels the energy and it's a rinse and repeat. And you don't want to be anywhere near him at all when he expels the energy. It's a devastating blast. It gets into feats, so when we get to feats, we'll get to that. There really is not a limit to the. I mean, the limit is when you hit overload, and what it took for him to hit overload the one time. We'll get to in feats. He's got a really big feat. I completely forgot that this was a thing that happened in the comics, and it's absolutely wild. But once you hear the feat, you'll understand how almost impossible it is to hit.
just for my note here, when that cleansing blast, basically, when he overloads, uh,
Mhm.
controlled or uncontrolled?
How do you don't control that?
Okay, that's what I was just saying. Like, if it's something that he focuses, he can still focus it at that point, or if it is just,
I
nope,
mean,
this is coming.
it's one of those you drop the to whom it may concern bomb. All right,
Okay.
it's just if you're in the area, you're fucked.
Okay, so his limit's not so much on burning out his battery; it is getting to a point where there's too much power to control.
Mm.
Okay, now on Sunspot's case, Ritter.
So, yes, you could cut Sunspot off because he requires solar energy. Now, just having him, like, if we're not talking about like, oh, the sun goes down, he's screwed kind of thing. Um, because he has learned to absorb sunlight even at night if there's a moon. He because moonlight is refracted sunlight. So he's been able to pull from there. But in theory, if you were to put him underground where there is absolutely no light coming through, then yes, you could in theory drain him of his power source, right? Because he is a living solar battery. Um, as far as overloading, yes, and overloading also kind of brings into some of his weaknesses that I guess we can touch on more so when we get to weaknesses. But much in the same, while naturally he handles immense amounts of energy, he has overloaded, and it's given him the ability to fire devastating, uncontrolled blasts of heat and concussive dark plasma.
But his is so. Hmm. So how does his overload happen? Does he constantly pull in the energy? Because I mean, he's getting it from the sun and everything. I kind of always figured it'd be a Kryptonian style thing, um, where it's just you're in the sun, your body's metabolizing it, and that's what you're using. But if he can actually draw it in, if you will.
Yes. So it's the way that I interpret it, and Minnie can correct me if I'm wrong here, because again, this is my first interaction with Sunspot, but it's kind of a both. Like, yes, he's constantly getting energy, but if he needs to, he can pull more, and that's where we get into the overloads because he's taking in more than what his body would need at a given time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
Uh, to real quick to help you better understand Sunspot, uh, his power set essentially makes him like a living, walking piece of the sun.
okay. Hmm. And so this thing, because I know he's been depowered before. I remember that. Um,
Which time?
yeah, so I'm saying it's been more than once. Um, so yeah, I know Sunspot's been depowered. Havok's, I guess if I mean you go Genosia, then any mutant can be depowered. So
Yeah, just take the collar out of the
okay,
picture.
take the
We're
collar
not
out.
gonna.
Okay, I was about to say it's like
Yeah,
because once you put the
yeah,
collar in there, it's kind of like okay, great, these are two people just fighting now. So,
yep.
um, because yeah, I'm about to say I think I remember one where he burned out for Sunspot. Basically expended everything and didn't have the sun to draw on. But Havok.
Havoc has never been depowered or cut off, and that boils down to we're just going to dive into this because I don't know where it fits in questions. But Havoc has resistances and immunities to again, if it's considered cosmic, like solar rays and all that kind of stuff, he has a very high resistance to it. Like a Vulcan's absorption ability does not work on Havoc. All right, Cyclops' Eye Blast does not work on Havoc. He has an
Well, that.
immunity to
Oh,
those.
but I thought okay, and I got to pull my knowledge out on this one. I thought when it came to the Summers brothers, they were all immune to their specific. Like they were just universally they can't hurt each other with their powers. That was always the case.
So it's a dual thing. Like you are correct there; they are immune to each other, but it carries over into people with similar abilities.
Okay. Okay. Well, if it's kinetic coming from there, then like Bishop's blast, which is kinetic energy, or even Gambit's kinetic blast,
Yep, yep.
would
Does not affect Havoc.
okay. Okay.
Havoc is a wild card amongst the four because you take all of the normal immunities and resistances uh, that all four of them have, and Havoc's is dialed up to 100.
Okay. I don't suppose Sunspot has anything that's going to help him with the absorption. I mean, like, because I mean that's kinetic versus solar. Um, like, can Sunspot brunt or do anything with this shit coming out of Havok?
Do what? Like,
With his absorption and everything, because I'm gonna say because my understanding, okay, so Havok's is not cosmic, it's kinetic.
Yes, kinetic energy, but Havoc absorbs cosmic energy and it boosts his kinetic energy.
Okay, and Sunspot is straight up just solar, no cosmic, just
yes,
just solar. Okay,
yes.
kind of hoping we could have like a little absorption off here, but no, that's not gonna work. Uh, okay, well I guess we got to start getting into some weaknesses. Well, we got the powers, but like I didn't like that sound from
Shut up,
Taylor.
Mitty.
I didn't like that sound.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll kick this off.
Ripping the Band-Aid off. I like this.
So, things one could theoretically say that kind of acts as weaknesses. So he can't store solar energy for extended periods of time, right? He has to activate his powers in short bursts, right? So constant use is going to drain him faster. Um, and while he has a resistance to piercing attacks, or no, resistance to piercing attacks is low. He, could hypothetically be seriously wounded or knocked out by peak human punches and handgun rounds. So, no gunfights here. Then we go into when he takes in this extra energy. His powers being amplified or pushed to uncontrollable limits, using, they call it a full Hulk tier strength, does cause him to age extremely rapidly.
Okay.
Then, there's the whole Mpox thing. So he suffers under the effects of mutant killing Tyrogen cloud. So he has chronic coughing fits because of the Mpox.
Detergent.
But I did find this, and again, maybe Mitty can kind of clarify some details of this that I might be missing, because this is something I actually just found today. Ever since he actually died in War of Realms and then was resurrected in Dawn of X, he has been seen using his powers without the regulator or fear of his Mpox sickness. So he had this regulator that he would have to wear to counteract the effects of the Mpox. But apparently, after he was resurrected, he was no longer seen using it. And then that's where it came in, where I was speaking earlier, that he would quickly exhaust his energy if he was not in direct sunlight. With his now current state and increasing age and experience, he can now, absorb sunlight even at night.
Yeah. No, that counters that weakness. Yeah.
So that was the one that was really stressing me out, because of course I would pick the person who has chronic coughing fits. But woohoo, resurrection, as Mitty says, you're never actually dead in this world. So
Never.
So really that kind of cancels out some of his weaknesses, with the whole Mpox situation. I would still go as far as to say, though, that if he does continuously push himself to those uncontrollable limits with the rapid aging, still being a factor. So honestly, in this fight with Havok, Sunspot would be less focused on energy and more focused on like combat style fighting, right? Because you've got Havok with his little cosmic and ambient energy, right? Meh. So Sunspot wouldn't be more of an energy focused fight for Sunspot. It would be a more hand to hand, so to speak. Mitty, your weaknesses. Let's hear it.
Oh, so weaknesses, his trauma, and not in the way that you're thinking. It does not hinder him in the fight because of his trauma. He struggles to harness in his energy blasts without his chest wriggling.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, no, that's fitting. That's fitting. That's
I really had to. I really just had. You said that,
waiting.
and I was like, let me click over as fast.
Yeah, that. Um,
Yep.
going.
That's really the big one. There's his overload. It's not so much that it cuts him off from using his abilities, but it does drain his stamina. Um, so his other abilities, they don't really matter in this fight, but his brother Vulcan, um, who is able to out absorb him. That's really it.
Vulcan can. Well, I
His
mean, Vulcan, yeah, can out absorb him, but he's not up against Vulcan.
Yep, his immunities have limitations.
Okay.
So it's I'll just read this off of here because my brain ain't braining. While he is entirely immune to Cyclops' optic blasts, he can still be harmed by other environmental hazards or beings that don't rely on cosmic energy.
That'd be great if you weren't up against one. But okay, but with those limitations, does that mean, example, Sunspot goes full out, dumps everything he has on him? Is that too much? Is there a limitation to what he can absorb?
The durability, I think, is the word that we're.
Well, the durability
You
would
know
be like the physical aspect.
that gets into feats. That gets into feats. That
Okay,
gets into
okay, okay,
feats.
okay, okay.
That gets into feats.
Okay. Jesus Christ. You know what, Ollie? I hate you and I love you. Okay.
Just two feats.
Okay. Let's go into feats real quick, and then I'll dive back.
All right. Do you want to pop off feats, Raider? Or you want me to go?
You go ahead on this one. I headed up
All right.
weaknesses, so.
Okay, so to help you guys understand just what I mean by it takes a lot to get him overloaded, the absolute biggest feat that Havok has is he has beaten the Hulk in a fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right, through through hand-to-hand combat and his absorption ability. So essentially, the longer the fight goes on, the more he absorbs the cosmic energy. In this case, he ended up through the fight draining the Hulk completely of his radiation.
Wait, but Gamma's not solar. That's not cosmic.
Yes, it is.
Is it considered cosmic? Okay.
It's considered cosmic in the comics. And the reason that it's considered that is because we had the reveal of the green and how the green is controlled by the one below all. The one below all is who? So if the one above all is God of all of Marvel, then the one below all would be the devil of all of Marvel.
Not Mephisto.
No. There are many devils, but the one below all would be like the ruler of them all. But yes, so he has beaten the Hulk, soundly beat the Hulk to the point to where it took Banner months to be able to figure out how to kickstart his gamma radiation so that he could be the Hulk again.
Okay.
And that didn't end with an overload, by the way. It was the second fight because he beat the Hulk, and then it was he had to have help with who fucking was that? I don't want to say Abomination, but I could be wrong. But after he defeated the Hulk, he had to have help with the other guy, and during the fight with the other guy was when the overload happened.
Okay. Okay. Ollie fucking
Yeah.
corrected me here too in chat. Jesus.
Outside of the Hulk, he has defeated people like Sabretooth. He's defeated Sinister. He's defeated. Are we talking? We're just talking solo fights, yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, because unless we're gonna have team ups here, but I'm thinking it's 1-on-1.
So going with the one-on-ones, Colossus, Sabretooth. He's defeated the Hulk by himself. Stalemated the Juggernaut. You know that whole once the Juggernaut starts moving, he can't stop. Yeah, no, that's not entirely true. He stalemated the Juggernaut.
Okay.
Those are his feats, the big feats, the ones that matter.
Raider.
Okay, so admittedly, I will say this is where the topic, so to speak, or this section that I really had a hard time finding stuff because a lot of what I was searching was trying to give me references to a video game. But I have a couple. So he did battle Gladiator, which is a powerful Shahar.
Chiar.
Ooh, I'll pick this one up for you.
Shihar?
Okay, got you. It's Shi'ar. Shi'ar.
Shi'ar.
This
Thank
is
you.
significant. This is worth noting and paying attention to because Gladiator's ability is his confidence. The more confident Gladiator is in a fight, the more powerful that he is. He is the X-Men universe's version of Superman. His name is even
Oh.
it's a version of Kal-El. Uh, so that's no small feat to beat Gladiator in a fight.
Yeah.
When
he-
Gladiator has beaten Juggernaut.
Yeah. So boom, right? Okay, so we already talked about how he outsmarted his fight with the Maker Reed Richards.
Mhm.
He defeated the White Bishop of the Hellfire Club. I already
God,
said the Shihar.
Who was the white bishop?
White Bishop. Okay, I didn't go that far, but they killed his girlfriend.
I want to say it
2 seconds.
was Sebastian.
No, was he? Was he the white?
No, Donald Pierce. Donald Pierce.
Donald Pierce. Donald Pierce. Fuck. What was his code name? Hold on.
Yeah, wait, which White Bishop? Because there was Gideon, there was
Yeah.
Christian Frost, and there was Black Tom Cassidy and Donald Pierce.
Yeah, it says Donald Pierce. Sunspot
Okay.
defeated the White Bishop of the Hellfire Club after Pierce's missionaries murdered Sunspot's girlfriend. So it says Donald Pierce though.
Okay, so hold on. What is Donald Pierce's powers? Because that will help me understand the significance.
Advanced robotics and cybernetics.
Yeah, he was a supervillain cyborg.
Mhm.
Hellfire Club. He was part
Yeah.
of the Reavers. Genocidal motivation. Cybernetic body. Enhanced attributes.
Oh, you said the Reavers. All right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
He
The
can
poor
generate
Reavers.
destructive
They
plasma
get
and electromagnetic currents directly from his limbs. High resilience. As long as his brain remains intact, he can upload his consciousness or survive catastrophic damage to rebuild himself. Okay.
And then, so because he was mentioned with middies, we're gonna mention there was a fight between him and Vulcan, excuse me. This wasn't a fight to the win. This was a fight that ultimately Storm came in and fucking cleaned party. But it was an ongoing battle. So, you know, who's to say what would have happened at the end of that fight?
okay.
Shut up, Minnie.
Damn. Okay, maybe over here talking with some confidence.
Okay.
Listen, but they're both. It's an Omega level. The person, right? That he did fight, and he didn't technically lose.
All right, so we're gonna take just a slight detour. It's not gonna take long. I just need to explain Omega level. While Omega level is a big thing, it's not so much. It does not mean that you are the absolute most powerful being in existence. Think of the tier system for power levels in terms of limiters, okay? Anyone that is at Omega level just doesn't have a limiter. It just means that there are no known upper limits to their abilities. That is what Omega level is. So technically, it's not even a what you would call a canon terminology, but it makes sense now that over the fucking decades, people have sat there and ironed out what Omega level really is. So an Omega level mutant is not a god. An Omega level mutant is just a mutant that they don't have a ceiling. There is no stop to where their powers can go. They're not there, but they can get as high as they want to go.
But
It-
I thought they actually have said things in the comics about levels.
Yes and no. We've never had a definitive explanation of Omega level outside of whenever it is mentioned, they are referred to as the strongest of their kind, which is accurate to a point. It doesn't mean that they are at that spot. It does not mean that I'm calling you Jean Grey an Omega level mutant here the first time we're being introduced. That does not mean that in this moment you are at that point. It means that you have the
Not quite.
potential to be stronger than anyone in your group.
Okay, so
And when we're done with this
okay,
little
no,
thing, I have
okay,
one more.
no, that's say they
Mhm.
are they actually do bring it up in the comics. It was 1999.
Yep.
But okay, wow. Okay, and it goes all the way to Epsilon.
And
Beta class.
for my finals, since Ollie likes to be like, oh, Rita's just going to reference the movies, I'll reference something from the comics. Some of his notable major victories within the comics was defeating Gideon, knocking out Psylocke, and stalemating or besting War Machine in personal combat. Suck it, Ollie.
Wait, okay. But it's War Machine. It's a guy in a suit.
I mean, you want to get into.
I had to reference it because Ollie made it a point to say that I don't mention anything with the comics. So
Well,
I
hold
had
on.
to make sure to
Where
touch
did he
there.
say that? I don't see it.
Well, hold on.
Way back up.
Because you know me, Raider. I'm not going to stay just on my side. Not until I'm confident you have a better knowledge and understanding of things comic
yeah.
related. So Rhodes definitely has better battle tactics than Tony. All right, getting into a fight with War Machine is you are now in a game of chess. All right, that is that. I mean, I would put that at a medium level. Get it? That's not a bit. That's pretty good.
No, I mean,
And the War Machine suit is better suited with weaponry.
yes, yes. So there's that question that Ollie asked though, like who has beaten these people? Do we have that data?
Let's see. In solo fights,
Solo fights.
Havok has had losses, and most of them are to the same people that he's turned around and either beaten afterwards or beat before, and then they came back for revenge. Except for the Hulk. That was a one and done. They never had an interaction after that again, which I thought was wild because the Hulk would totally want revenge.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I know one of those that I can write down before you even say it for Havok's losses.
Yeah?
Sinister.
Which one? Yeah, no. Oof. That was bad.
Yeah.
Oh, there was. Oh, poor Havok.
And that one,
Oh.
I got pulled my own knowledge on that just because Sinister is one of my favorite villains, and yeah, I feel bad for the Summer Brothers when they go up against Sinister sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, except for Vulcan. Vulcan and Adam X deserve everything they get.
Yeah, god damn. Well, we now know who Mitty thinks are the redhead stepchildren of the family. Who else though?
Well, he's lost to Apocalypse.
hasn't?
He's lost to Omega Red.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. It was their first fight. The first time they ever encounter each other. He loses hand-to-hand combat. He's lost to Cyclops. He's yet to best Vulcan in a fight.
I got better absorption and control, but y'all can kick my ass. I love you, family members.
Yeah, man, there's such a toxic family, and it doesn't get spoken about. I would say those would be the most notable losses.
Yeah, I'm trying to think in my head. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any bigger ones, but most of those were team fights where he got taken down.
Yep.
Which I will say, I would actually toss that into one of his weaknesses. But it only affects him in team fights. If Polaris is in the fucking fight, he's distracted. He is not.
That's why I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, he's not good at self-preservation when his teammates or girlfriend is on the line.
Yep.
Okay, how about you, Raider? Who are some of the people who have beaten up Sunspot?
So notable individuals that have taken him down, right? You have Rainfire. Rainfire is a mutant that was created from Sunspot's own blood, right? So he successfully possessed and fought Sunspot on a mental and physical level. You have Claw. Claw's sonic manipulation, counteracted his solar absorption. And then for hand to hand, this is sparring, so I don't know if this was like an actual full-on fight or the context of this one, but it says Hercules. It wasn't a malicious defeat. It was pure hand-to-hand combat with his strength level equalized to a normal Olympian level. Hercules has bested Sunspot due to his millennia of superior martial arts experience.
Yeah, we don't talk about Hercules, Marvel's Hercules, that much. He was, yeah.
So yeah.
Him and Zeus were just monsters.
Yeah. It's
in
like
the comics.
It's like they gave you Thor and went, look, it's Thor. They're all like this. We lied.
Yeah.
Have you met Herc?
Have you met Zeus? Rest in peace, Hulk.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Ali, you want to throw some more in here too? Because I'm running out of questions. That's only because
X Factors. That's the next one. What gives them the edge over the other in a fight?
Okay. Let's go into that.
All right, Raider, take this one.
So like I was saying earlier, when it comes to this fight with Havok, it's really going to come down to the close quarters combat. My understanding, a lot of Havocs are kind of distance blows. So you would have Sunspot using his flight and whatnot to close distance before getting hit with those. And again, going more into the hand to hand, that's where Sunspot is going to have that upper hand over him. Any use of his solar abilities, right? Because he's got his supernova energy blast and all of that fun stuff. It's really not going to be that helpful. Maybe more like distraction blows. He's just gonna beat the piss out of him.
What? His blast are solar, and while yes, Havok can absorb, Havok can still be blinded. So he kind of has that going for him.
So, yes, and I hate to argue opposite sides of stuff here, but if we're talking about energy, while Sunspot has pure solar energy he draws from, Mitty, correct me if I'm wrong, there is some of that energy that he could ultimately just absorb from Sunspot's blast.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's both sides are right. He can 100% be blinded, but also at the same time being blinded, Havok could definitely take the energy from that flash and use it to either restore some stamina, restore uh, health, so to speak, or make himself more durable.
But I mean, like on a
It,
one-off, it could be used to basically get in a couple good shots, probably.
Right. So that's what I was saying. He's going to use his for his speed and mobility, right? He's going to be closing that distance because a lot of what Havok does is more of a project ranged damage. So if he uses that in close quarter, right? There's risk of collateral damage, right? He's harming himself, so to speak. So any of his energy that he does use, it's going to, like, his solar fueled flight, things like that, to move in quickly and deal those blows in a more hand to hand combat way.
Because I'm guessing that then the hypersonic speed is limited just to his flight. It is not his overall movements.
No, it wouldn't be. No, it's not just flight that he's fast.
Okay. That's what I wanted to
Yeah.
make sure of.
Yep. So really, it would come down to what Havok's durability is and what he can take in hand to hand blows.
the Hulk +1.
The Hulk +1.
Well, because he made it like halfway through the fight with Abomination. I looked it up. It was Abomination.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Hulk
he
plus
made
half.
it half.
Hulk plus half.
He made it halfway through that fight before the rest of the team had to step in and help him out.
And Ollie, we were talking about Sunspot sparred with Hercules, who had brought himself down to Olympian level power, is what she said.
It wasn't an outright defeat because it was more of a sparring situation, but Hercules won.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your edge?
Havok's is his versatility. All right, I hate to pop the bubble here for you, Raider, but he is not
But he's
solely.
not talking at all. My bad. I had to.
He is not solely a ranged fighter, and he has his chest. The beam that comes out of his chest is not a straight beam. It's more like a giant energy circle that comes out and hits everything around it. He can handle up close fights. He can handle distance fights. Again, he defeated the Hulk, and that's a huge feat. And if it's just him fighting, he doesn't care about collateral damage. It's not a worry that he possesses. That hand-to-hand combat, again, him like Sunspot was personally trained by Wolverine and are some of his top students for martial arts.
Okay.
I said some, not all. Don't give me that. They're not the top students,
Yeah,
but they are
I know.
some of
No,
his top
I know.
students.
But I'm also looking at the factor of, Sunspot also had the Avengers training.
He did. I'm not counting that out. It's still it's Havok, and his edge is just his ability to adjust on the fly in a fight, unless there's green hair and tits around, and then he's doomed.
So how did he win it with the Hulk?
So they didn't show up. I mean, that was my thing too, right? And I had to rebrush up on it. No, his fucking asshole teammates did not show up until after the fight with the Hulk.
I was more referencing the factor of, you said green hair and tits, and well,
Yeah.
I
Hulk's
didn't pick
green
up on
hair
that.
and
I had a tism moment there. I was like, that really bugged me too.
no,
They
it
left
does.
him the Hulk by him and
So,
didn't show up until halfway through the Abomination.
and this is something I do have to point out with X Factor, right? That team likes to be like, no, I got this. I'm gonna go. I gotta do this on my own. I have to prove
Yep.
myself. And then, oh shit, can you guys get down here? I'm getting my ass kicked. Thank you.
All right. So I would say that is enough knowledge
Oh
drop
God.
that how we're going to work this. I don't know if we can set up a live poll.
No, I can't do a
Okay.
poll, but we can do it in the
So
chat. Wait,
let
let me see if I can do it.
okay.
Yes, I can
See if
start a
you do
poll.
it.
I can do a poll. Haha.
All right. So we're gonna start a poll up, you guys, and you're gonna put your votes in, and you guys get to decide who wins. Does Raider take this one, or do I continue my victory streak?
Raiders never won. Raiders never won. Raiders never won.
And here, I'll even. There you go. Okay, yeah, I can do it. Ha! I just got to do it from within there. Ha! I figured out. All right.
Get your votes in, everybody.
The poll is open. The open is polled. So far, let's get those votes in. It won't tell me how many people yet, but see, can I expand? I can expand. All right, we just got one vote. There's 8 of you there. There's 8 of you. I want to see 8 votes. Come on.
Ooh, it's tied up.
We're
Get your
outside.
votes
Come on.
in.
Ollie, Zeus, Bam, Killer, all y'all. I want to see it. I want to see it. 3 votes in.
Yeah, I can't see it on my side.
Really?
I don't think my account.
Oh, I'll have to give you.
Yeah,
It's my
Yeah.
bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we'll add her.
That's
I
fine.
can fix it.
All right. The votes
Ari,
up.
you just made it here. Vote for Raider. Vote for Raider. Vote for Raider.
Follow your heart, young Padawan.
Vote Raider.
4 votes, and we are at 50-50 again. Come on. Right now it says there's 6 of you in here. Somebody disconnected. But come on.
It just shows me 10.
This thing is slow. Y'all really gonna try to don't make me be a tiebreaker. Don't put this on me, okay, Hooks? Come on. So come on, let's hear it. Sunspot
No.
versus Havok. Ollie,
Come on, everybody, get your votes in.
Ollie, you better have voted. You better have voted. I swear they're doing this on purpose.
100%.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh no. Oh no.
I can just
I
can
can't
see. I can see in my head Raider is like fucking messaging people on Discord.
I was gonna say,
Go
I
here.
know, I'm
and
literally-
start
if you voted, please type in the chat that you voted.
It's like us giving you a sticker, okay?
It does.
I can't see who you voted for. I can only see that you voted. Maybe when the poll ends, I might be able to dig deeper. But we're gonna leave this open.
See,
Let's see.
I want you to know that it even gave me the option to vote, and I minimized it, and I didn't even vote for myself. So
could you vote for me?
no.
All right, there's 5 of you that have voted. So you got Ari and Bam and Ollie.
So Ollie didn't vote in my favor. Because he's a dick.
I'm gonna want to know his explanation on that if that's the case, because well, no, that's only in okay.
So you can't take that. You can't take that into account because she's not here in this fight.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Is If he's got nobody else to worry about, it's a different story for Havok. I swear to God, he and Cyclops are like identical in that aspect.
Because if Jean is around,
He does
Cyclops is
stupid
always
shit.
focused on one thing.
The number of times in fucking X-Men, like the original X-Men animated series, that we heard Jean. It got to the point of, I swear to God, Inuyasha Kagome, Inuyasha Kagome.
Ugh.
Yeah, no, I had to. It's two of the words I can say right.
Fair enough.
The vote has been up for 4 minutes. I'm gonna give it one more minute.
Yep, 60 seconds on the clock. Get your votes in.
I think Raider's probably muted right now, just like, yes, yes, yes.
Honestly, I turned and looked behind me. Fish has set up his train that I got him for his birthday, and even put the water in the engine so there's steam coming out of it.
Okay, so see, now she's doing the distracted thing. So I mean, that should cost her some votes, people. Come on.
No, I am still here, and it's killing me. I can't see the poll. I can't see how many people have
minimize.
voted for one or the other. I literally can't see any of it.
There's 5 votes in. 5 votes in. And 30 seconds. If you got a question, you want to know, speak now. Or forever watch Midi cry.
No, we can give Raiders some charity.
Oh, and on that note,
Oh!
this is going to be the last episode of Why Superman Sucks. You can send your contributions for Minnie's funeral.
Oh,
And so, people just
Wow.
joining, let us know. 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll closing. So, it doesn't give me who voted on what, but 5 votes in, and Sunspot wins at 60% of the votes.
I want to hear. Oh yeah, Midi. Yeah, I was about to say I want to hear who Ollie voted for.
Okay. I think so that's the problem. If I were to throw my vote in, which I didn't in this, it would have been for Havok. And I hate to say that because I'm trying to be impartial too, and it's hard.
No, the votes were there. Sunspot took it. Congratulations on your victory.
Because I will upload this into Discord. I have the whiteboard sitting in front of me, and it was a really hard thing because honestly, the section for weaknesses, right? It's like 2 freaking lines on Havok, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines for Sunspot.
But you forgot the part where after he was resurrected, half of his weaknesses got canceled out there.
I put prior to resurrection, but you said the Hulk level strength and using the powers like that was aged him rapidly, which you didn't say that if after he was brought back, if he used it like that again, it wasn't going to age him. You also kind of brought up the factor he's resistant to piercing, but he could still get hit shot by like a peak human. And
Phoenix focusing because I brought up getting distracted by a woman. That's what Phoenix focused on. In a 1v1 fight where there were no women around.
No, okay, hang on, because I have questions here, right? Because when I doing some of my research and whatnot, when you talk about durability, it says Havok's physical durability would be peak human.
He's tanked. Well, not so much tanked, but he's taken hits from the Hulk, shooken it off, and got back and fighting.
The problem is that his absorption, being able to up his stamina, up his healing. That's where he could take a licking and keep ticking.
Mhm.
Because it's all energy. I mean, like, can he pull that directly from his own source to do?
No.
Okay.
He
Nope.
can, Ollie. He can. You missed where even if the sun is down, if the moon is out, he can still draw solar energy from the moon.
Yep.
Yeah,
The
but
only time that he is completely limited to where he cannot regain power is if you put his ass underground, locked away from any kind of light.
Yep.
you put him in the dark, so you just put him in a shield facility. Gotcha.
Yeah, that the resurrection gave him a huge power.
Yeah.
Huge. Um, I don't
But
remember.
it is kind of like the it's funny because it always goes one way or another when it comes to any of the energy based mutants, right?
Yep.
They either have the outside influence like Sunspot with the solar, Bishop with getting hit with kinetic energy. I think even Gambit's is technically just the kinetic energy around him he's absorbing to push
Yep.
into the cards and stuff.
Yep.
Meanwhile, you've got Nightcrawler, Summers Brothers, where it's magic, where it's dimensionally linked power.
All right, thank you, Bam.
So it's kind of funny. It seems to be the two ways that a lot of the energy based mutation powers work. You're either tied to another dimension or you're absorbing it from around you. But that's kind of it. And then the Summer Brothers are that weird mix of, well, we're absorbing shit from around us, but it's not what we're firing. So, because, Scott wasn't broken enough as he was.
If you guys enjoyed that versus, do me a favor, like this video.
And share it.
If we get 50 likes on the video, we'll do another one. And this time we'll let you guys decide who it is we're going to be debating on. So with that, we're going to sashay on over to Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Yes.
Just came out with another trailer, and it was absolutely amazing. And I'm really curious to know if Raider has any big questions from that trailer.
I have to grab my notes.
Ooh, people have notes.
I have notes on this one too.
I'm ashamed to say I don't have notes on this one.
Who are you? What have you got, Raider?
Well, no, again, I'm still behind on the Spider-Mans, right? So I'm still building up to be where we're at, right? Because I haven't watched Spider-Man since Toby. So I am very much so behind. I did like the interactions that we were seeing with Hulk and whatnot. I'm hopeful that maybe we get that moment that Mitty's been talking about.
It'd be really cool. It'd be so cool. I know it's such a small moment in the run, but
I almost
gave
you won't now. After that,
Yeah, seeing Hulk fighting him makes me think we won't get it.
So yes and no. Remember, this is Hulk possessed by Jean Grey. Or not so much possessed, but like
are you sure?
Yes, 100%. I went and I did research.
Okay, but so I watching that, the voice, like the voices changing, talking to him from the different people, right?
Yes.
Your brain went Jean Grey for that?
Yes, that is something she can do.
I know she can do it, but who's more famous for it?
Okay, but hear me out. The only person from the X-Men universe confirmed so far for Spider-Man Brand New Day is Sadie Sink.
Yes. But tell me that's not a Shadow King move.
Okay, that is such an obscure reach.
But it could work. It could work.
Hear me out. We will never see Shadow King again.
Don't say that.
Nope, nope. I need you to hear me and understand this. They ruined him in the one movie they put him in, and we will never see him again. And if it was Shadow King isn't going after the Hulk. Shadow King isn't going after Spider-Man. Shadow King knows better than to go after Jean Grey. There is only one host that he constantly goes after. Who is that?
Oh God.
It's Storm.
Oh yeah, his big fascination. I was really looking for host. I always thought it was bride that he was really going for with
No,
her.
no, it's host.
Okay. Uh, get- I don't know. It's just I don't. It makes Jean look like she snapped. If that's the case.
So what we need to take into consideration is they are now going to start introducing mutants and the X-Men into the live action world, all right? And it would not be a stretch for her to have been kidnapped and tortured, and which would result in a snap. I'm fucking done with humans. Homo sapiens need to be eradicated. This is things that's happened with her in the comics before, where it's taken the combined efforts of the X-Men and outside forces to try to bring her back to reality. And another thing they could do is this could be Jean Grey still consumed by the Phoenix Force.
Yeah, but can I feel like they can't bring Phoenix Force into this yet.
I feel like they totally could, especially for the events that are about to happen. They 100% could.
But then I feel like they're gonna have to explain, and that's gonna be too much to try to fit into the Spider-Man side of things.
There's so much that Marvel has done that needed explaining that they didn't explain. They don't have to do that. People can reach out and be like, "What's this?" And then they can just be like, "Go watch these movies, and you'll understand what this is."
Fair, because I know they are pulling back from. Well, it just depends on how they do it. Like I'm very curious to know. I know that in the end, the original X-Men movies are the ones that are important in going forward, but that doesn't mean that some of what we see might not tie in with the multiverse aspect to the other movies. So I'm there's so many ways they could do this.
Oh. Raider, did you? So nothing to pick up from what you saw. No questions about what's going on with Peter now, or
I mean, I feel like, yeah, the eyeballs. I noticed that too, Phoenix.
yeah. So there are two theories. All right. One is people are saying that that's the symbiote, and it's not the right color for a symbiote. Plus, uh, it's more of the symbiote bonds with the skin and becomes like a suit of armor. Um, the
Okay,
other, good.
for those not well versed, right? So, like, okay, again, keep in mind how much I've seen as far as Spider-Man goes and the limited knowledge, right? The first thing I think of when I see that was the whole like Venom aspect and all of that nonsense.
Yep.
I say not nonsense, but you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
is that what you're referencing when you're
Yes.
saying
Yep.
okay?
Yep. Um, and Ollie, I don't know if we're gonna get straight up Man Spider. I think we'll see like the beginnings of that transformation, but I don't know if they're gonna go all the way with Man Spider. It'd be cool. It'd be cool because that's the other thing. The other theory is it's just part of the mutation that Peter is now going through.
And how they're going to change him, that one line. How do you decide what to keep, what's good and what's bad?
Mhm.
That's where I'm curious as to how far they're going to take it.
So I need you two to go back and forth. I have to go to the bathroom.
Back,
Fourth,
back,
fourth.
fourth.
back. um. Also, did any of you see the super cool clip about Frank and Peter? I did not.
Ah,
To Google.
gonna stay connected.
They let the two of them have a lot of liberties with their scenes and depicting a brotherly type connection that they did really well with. It was a behind the scenes clip. Okay, yeah, no, I haven't seen any behind the scenes. I've purely seen just the new trailer. Mitty and I watched it the other day. Tuesday? Monday.
And I
Tuesday? I
watched
don't
it, and I held off and watched it 10 minutes before we started.
know.
I did it so it'd be fresh in my
Wow.
head.
Yeah, no, that's smart. Um,
Because that's
oh
where,
well, that's mostly because Asher and
and
Peter actually do have really close relationship.
yeah. Well, I mean, they have a weird relationship. Um, but going back, like with the black guys thing, that's the one thing I was gonna say. The mutation wise, I was thinking aspect like Ollie was, because when he goes man spider, he has the spider eyes. So that's why I was thinking that was mutation.
Okay, I have questions. Here we go. Again, not versed in the newer Spider-Man stuff, right?
You're
So
good.
I assume with the new Spider-Man, it's still along the same lines, right? Of spider bite leading to abilities.
Yep.
Yes?
Yep.
Or okay. The reason why, because I have seen the Avengers stuff where you have the relationship between Spider-Man and Tony Stark and him developing his own quote unquote type of suit and, devices to help.
Yeah, the Iron Spider is what it was affectionately named in the comics, and that's
So
all it was. Is Tony made a suit for him basically like they did it through the movie, basically to help protect him. He was a newer level hero, and Tony literally threw him into the fire, if you will,
right.
with going up against the Avengers and so forth, and seeing how dangerous the world was. Tony always put suits on the things he wanted to protect, on
Yeah.
Rhodes, on Pepper, because she was rescue in the comics.
Yep.
So that was kind of his thing. If you meant a lot to Tony, there was probably a suit of armor with your name on it. He made one for Cap. You know.
So we know I'm a person about timelines. All
Mhm.
right. So in the retrospect of this new movie coming out and putting it in the timeline of stuff like with the Avengers one, where is this falling?
This is after. So they actually did really good with the movies, because the second one that had Mysterio was after Stark's death. He had gotten the glasses, Edith, for which basically was control of Stark technology. It was Stark passing over the reins. He didn't feel he was worthy of it. Winds up giving it to Mysterio, and that's where the whole hell comes from. Um, so everything has been after Tony's death. In fact, yeah, the second movie on. The first movie was Tony, because Tony showed up in that one, so that was before Endgame. So the
Okay.
first Spider-Man is before Endgame. Everything else follows afterwards. But I
All
mean,
right.
I'm like, I mean, the fact that we saw in that trailer too, and I gotta point this out, we saw Hulk, we saw Frank, we saw the Hand, and the Hand was some kind of upgraded fucking tech to them too, with the light, with the electrical stuff. That was interesting. Um, it would not surprise me if we don't see some other cameos as well. We could see Daredevil. We could see Jessica Jones.
Okay. You know what? No, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it, and I'll take the heat. I don't care.
Mhm.
I don't like Jessica Jones. We could have left it alone. We could have left it alone. They've done barely anything with their storyline, and it makes no sense to bring her in now.
I mean, just because of the fact they brought her in Daredevil, I feel like it leads to the ability to them to do more with her story, and for Luke. without going into the whole toxicity that was their relationship. Crap, this cut off on me.
So here's the thing I want to dive on real quick. Yes, all right, we'll jump to that quick because that fight, that scene in the trailer was brutal, absolutely brutal, and a good, finally a decent demonstration of what Peter's like when he lets loose a little bit. And let's hope not, all right? Because the dynamic between Spider-Man and Deadpool gets a little spicy and not one that should just be for and everyone consumption. Yeah, fun fact, they very much in the comics definitely 100% get very intimate with each other. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did see Scorpion.
Yep. So that fight was again, it's not often you get to see Spider-Man just let loose like that. That version of the suit was a choice.
Yeah. I mean, I will say I feel like I like that suit better than them trying to put him in the green.
I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of cool. Turn Scorpion into a gag character, give him his original costume.
Oh God. I see it. The problem with a lot of the original costumes is just that I don't think they would probably not translate to screen well.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we never got Doc Ock in the green and yellow.
It's fair. So the dynamic between Frank and Peter, I absolutely fucking love because it's Frank trying to the kind of big brother role, like Peter, the world isn't always going to be sunshine and rainbows, and it's great that you have a moral code, but you need to be ready to break that every once in a while. And you have Peter trying to remind Frank that it's okay to feel that humans can change, that people deserve a second chance. It's great. Oh, and Peter doesn't like it when Frank swears.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Sorry, I just had that moment from Avengers. Steve, you said the bad word.
Mm-hmm. If you like trauma stories, Phoenix, go read up about Jessica Jones.
And here's the thing I'm going to also say. The series they did for Jessica Jones addresses a lot of that trauma aspects, and they do a decent job. But the comics were so much worse. Alias was a hell of a series.
You're not wrong, Ollie. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I still think it would have been funny.
I want to say my favorite part of this trailer was him stretching out before fighting and being like, well, I'm not in high school anymore. doing the little lunges.
Yeah, Pete, wait till you're in your 40s.
Right. All I could think about was like, oh my God, my back could never.
MM in the Marvel universe. I don't know what you're trying to reference.
I'm not sure either.
I need you to be more direct.
I'm gonna say it. I'm getting a smack later. Use your words.
Love that he's getting more quippy. Yes.
I think
yes.
they have to do it though, because if they're gonna show a change in him through this, I feel like because you remember, like we've always said, when Spider-Man stops quipping, you're in trouble.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like
Yeah,
he
no,
might though.
I said it before. Andrew Garfield was, in my opinion, the best Spider-Man we ever had. Um,
But I feel like it almost makes sense, right? Because when we first saw Spider-Man, I mean, there's a little bit of quipping, but he's still nervous. He's still not confident. He is at a point now. I think he is confident with the factor of being Spider-Man in his role,
mhm.
and that's why he was willing to sacrifice what he did. So if you look at it, I really have to go back through and look, but I swear, as you watch the movies, he does quip more and more in each movie.
A little bit here and a little bit there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull him up. He doesn't have a role.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Where is he?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I got it.
Okay.
Move. You just right click and then hit move to, and then you click podcast, and then it goes
Oh,
ba-ding.
Hi.
Hey, man.
hello. I was yanked. I didn't even get to say bye.
It's just Santos. It's okay.
All right. Again, real quick, a reminder: if you've made it this far into the video, do me a solid, do Raider a solid, do the team a solid, and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, share this video, please, so that we can continue to grow and continue to be the best nerds we could possibly be for y'all. Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to be an absolute delight. Stay with us. We're going to be breaking down more trailers as they come, and I'm going to go see the movie when it drops, and we'll do a discussion on it after I have seen it.
Yeah.
We are now going to
Well,
go.
Before
Oh,
you
go ahead.
before you do that, I gotta do the one small plug for something we'll talk about next time, but to remind the viewers that Supergirl is coming out on the 26th.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 26th. So
I forgot they exist.
yeah. See, and I had to be the one to bring
Rude.
this up because Mitty and his Kryptonian phobia. He's committing a hate crime here. Uh, but yeah, that one's coming out. I think it's going to be really great. Getting to see Lobo on the big screen, uh, especially by Momoa, it should be a treat. Do kind of wish it would have been an R rated because then they could have done more. But like Mitty said the other day, uh, they're going to push it. They're going to have to. So yeah, we'll be back more review on that. But I just had to bring that out there because it is coming out next week, and we won't have podcast for 2 weeks. So
All right. We're bringing in I put emphasis on special. In the special guest, we have Miz coming in here to talk some anime with us, and I feel like our conversations are going to get interesting. As everyone knows, the stuff we have coming out here in the next couple months, we have another season of Black Clover. We have another season of The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic.
yes.
Um, I even think we have some Dragon Ball stuff coming out.
Oh, let it die.
I think there's a movie. Oh no. No, you are no longer allowed to be a part of the anime conversation. You sit there and you be quiet. I mean, because if you want to think about it, all right, we had some animes over here, U.S. side, uh, here and there sporadically, right? But when Dragon Ball first landed in the United States, that's what really kicked off anime for America. That's why when you talk about who the big three are, and people will say, well, it's four because Dragon Ball. No, Dragon Ball is in a league by its own. because without it, we wouldn't have what we have today. And there's no negotiating on it. The big three is One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach. That's it. Period. All right. Stop adding to it. Stop changing it up. Don't make a current big three. There is no new big three. Knock it off. The big three are the big three for a reason. They are animes that have helped build the foundation and shape fandoms and world structure for future animes, like all the animes we have now. They all are maybe not directly correlated from the big three, but the basic governing and rule style for world building are taken from those 3-4 animes.
Yeah, I want to have an argument so badly right now. Because that's not
Go
the big
ahead.
three.
Dude,
I mean,
what?
No, to Akira was the introduction of anime really into the American population, as well as, I mean, technically Voltron and some of the other stuff that got brought over in the early '80s before, uh, like some of these other ones. And then I want to say a lot of the interest did kind of focus around when we started getting stories like Cowboy Bebop, Trigun, Outlaw Star, Stride, regular Lotus Wars.
The Big Three is a legendary term used to describe three massive overlapping shonen anime and manga series that dominated the industry's golden age. One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach are the Big Three. It is not to discredit anything that came before them or anything that comes after them. But those three animes earned their spot there for a reason.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I was like thinking about it, like I remember Dragon Ball Z being on like Saturday morning. Like it wasn't relegated to Toonami kind of thing. But I remember I think when Bleach came out, it was Toonami is what brought it over. Like that's where we
Mhm.
started seeing it. So I'll give you the fact that like shonen wise, yeah, I mean it's probably
Mhm.
one of the first ones I heard about.
Mhm.
This is hard for me to
But
say, but I stand corrected.
yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yeah, there's a lot coming out. I know right now that Time I got reincarnated as a slime is sitting on its fourth season, I believe. I'm just waiting
Fourth
for it all to.
fourth season, episode 11.
I'm just waiting for it all to be dubbed.
It is really good this time. Really,
I'm,
really good season.
I'm hoping. A lot of times an anime will take a break, like what the reincarnated as a slime did, and when it comes back, it's just so lackluster.
Yeah, 'cause, like season 1 was really cool, and then obviously those that watched season 2 and 3 realized it was more of like the structure and
Mhm.
building up the city and everything. But obviously not doing any kind of spoilers for season 4. But that part of it definitely went back burner, and we got a lot more of the season 1 feel in it.
Good, good. That means there's more fighting, and
Yes,
maybe another random Hadoken.
yes, especially in the latest episode. Yes.
Perfect. um, I'm most excited. Well, two. There's two. There's two. One of them I haven't brought up in a while because I just found out about today. But Windbreaker got another season that I have yet to watch. And if you like watching high schoolers beat the shit out of each other for no reason other than gang superiority, let me introduce you to Windbreaker.
Okay, that's one I haven't watched yet. So
Yeah, Windbreaker is a society that is completely, well, not completely. It is basically governed by this like prep school gang hierarchy.
Yeah, and the main character's entire like goal is he just wants to fight and prove he's the best.
Yep.
yet I can't get you to watch Classroom of the Elite.
So I love Windbreaker. Windbreaker is
Little
so good.
little bit different of a vibe than Classroom of the Elite.
Okay.
Because like let's be real, because Classroom of the Elite, the whole premise of it is well, I can't say premise, but main character wise, at least, he's kind of put there, and he's obviously really smart. He's really strong. His upbringing, whatnot, forged him to be this. But if he had his choice, he doesn't care where he is or what position he's in. But Windbreaker, dude, is like he wants to scrap. He wants to scrap all the time.
Okay.
Don't fight that guy. Too late.
Got a high school. That's a good one.
And so Windbreaker's great. I highly, highly recommend Windbreaker. You'll have fun with it. But the wrong way to use healing magic, I think it's July or August is when the next season comes out for it, and I'm gonna build a whole D&D character around the main character from this anime.
Oh, beside around Usato.
Yep, thank you, Usato. Yes. I want to hit you, but I want to make you feel good bad when I do it.
I want to hit you, but you'll be bleeding love.
Yep. So the whole premise is it's an isekai, all right? Except when Usato is being tested for his ability, I can't remember what his aura was, but they didn't, or pretended like they didn't know what the color. Yeah, green. He had a green aura, and they were like, well, that's useless. You're useless. We're just gonna ship you off. But before they can do that, the castle's main top combat healer gets wind that there was a ritual summoning of these kids, and shows up, finds out his color is green, and just kidnaps him. Like, everyone is freaking out. They don't want this lady to take. Oh, it was purple. It was purple. All right. They don't want this kid taken away, and then you find out later because she's a psychopath, a straight sadist psychopath. It's great. It's great. It's awesome. It's so good. It's so good. I don't want to spoil too much for people because I really do want you all go watch this anime. It's so good. It is so good. But I have a question for you, Miz. I'm gonna really, really get the brain juices flowing here.
Oh, here we go.
What would you consider your top 4 warrior class anime races?
Warrior class anime races, and we're talking just every race I can think of.
Yep.
I would say, as generic as it's gonna sound, human is definitely one of them. Yes, we are not the big. Well, I say we, but they are not the biggest, nor are they always the smartest. But when they want something, they will go through any means in order to get it.
Yep.
Obviously, you got to count in things like orcs and demi-humans in general, but orcs specifically, just because their brain turns off and they just, again, they want to scrap all the time. They want to fight with people. Dwarves, I mean, they were like quote unquote forged in mountains and always behind heat and steel all the time. They know how to handle their weapons better than anyone else would.
And the last one.
I would say, I'm trying to think of anything aquatic, because it's a lot of people ignore just how strong like mermaids and whatnot actually are in the water. Like, that's their domain. No matter how big and bad you are, if you fall in the ocean around them, you're probably done. No amount of strength is going to save you there.
All right. Good list. All right. I'm probably gonna go. Mine are gonna have a few of the obvious ones here, right? But we're gonna go. I do agree with you. Humans should be on the list. 100%. Their ability in the anime world to just overcome whatever you put in front of them, through sheer willpower is what puts them a cut above everyone else. Then I'm gonna throw witches down. I would consider them their own race, because whenever you see a witch in an anime, they're not referred to as a human per se. They are something else entirely.
But would you classify witch as a warrior class though?
No, you are right. No, you are right. Okay, nope, that's fair. My second one, then I would have to go draconic.
Ooh, Dragonkin? Yeah.
Yep, dragonsons. You see them. There's several animes that they're in. The ones that are in that time have got reincarnated as a slime before they all go under the subjugation of Rimuru. They were talked about as the most powerful, efficient in battle race. My number 3, demi-humans.
Demi-humans are basically the closest things to godlike you can get in the anime
Yep.
world.
Yep. And then my number 1, and this is where the generic comes in. I personally believe there is no stronger warrior race than the Saiyans. That's my number 1.
Yeah, well, I can definitely see what you're going for here, but to me, when we're talking overall like warrior race, I'm talking like if you were to take a large pool of anime across all of them and all
Mhm.
of the races in them, these are the ones that stand out. But if you're talking specifically Saiyan, it's really only limiting yourself to DBZ. And I think yes, obviously Saiyans are like the strongest warrior race, but that's assuming you're doing Dragon Ball Z versus everything else.
You
And I
could
think
put any Saiyan in anywhere, and I'm not saying there's 100. There's not. I'm not saying there's 100% win rate, but it's higher than 50. It's higher than
well,
60.
well, again, that's the point though. Where if we're talking overall strongest race, like across anime, we
Mhm.
can't really limit ourselves to what appears in a singular series.
Well, but they're parallels to the Saiyans in a lot of the series.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, weirdly enough to say, like, couldn't I use the Soul Reapers as kind of a parallel to the Saiyans for Bleach because of the spirit energy and the powering up and all that kind of stuff that they wind up doing with the spirit pressure? It's
Yeah, but you gotta remember there's a whole difference when you're talking like yeah, Bleach, you have, their whole extra dimensions that they do and everything, right? But when we're talking quite literally intergalactic and multi-universe levels that Saiyans do, it's not really a fair comparison between the two. You can't expect Ichigo to sit there, point at, an entire like galaxy like Lord Beerus could, and just it's gone, right? Like there's not a single person in Bleach that has that ability.
Actually, uh,
Not to the same
so
scale, not to the same scale as a Saiyan.
actually, if you're sticking to nothing but anime, then you are correct. But if we're going all of the source material, which means we're including the mangas in, well, there's a few people in Bleach that could do it. 2 of them, 3 of them, 3 of them that could, 4 of them, 4? Yeah, 4 of them that could probably do it with ease. You've got Kenpachi when he gets his Bankai that can cut through anything, and I mean anything. I don't want to get into it too much because I don't want to spoil stuff for people who still haven't watched the Thousand Year Blood War yet. But we get a peek at it in Thousand Year Blood War. We have Ichigo, who almost easily gets there in the anime itself. We have what's his name? Ichibe. Ichibe. You'll meet him in Thousand Year Blood War, but in the manga, we get because even in the manga they don't outright show this stuff. There are strong implications of here's where this goes, right? And Ichibe's Shikai scales planetary, and the Bankai, which is an amplification uh, of the true power, scales way higher than that. You have head captain Yamamoto, who, where if he weren't to have, if he didn't have the restraint that he has, his Bankai definitely would go at least universal. And then you have Aizen. And then you have Soul King.
Fuck Aizen.
So there are people that get there, but if we're sticking just anime, then you are correct. The Bleach verse does not get there because of the lack of detail that they dive into on showing off power sets and explaining how they actually work.
And technically, you could add the word "yet" because we don't know what's going to happen in the Thousand Year Blood War final season. So
All these were human, demi-human, demonic, and celestial.
I can't agree with demonic.
Demonic is definitely a warrior race.
Damn headset. Just because they always wind up having some kind of just punk weakness. They always get written in with like some kind of punk weakness that gets exploited.
I mean, if you want to get technical, everyone does to a point.
I mean,
It's just demonic gets utilized as cannon fodder more often than they're given their own little story to build off of.
they have 100 freaking warriors and like all the demons are little punks except for like one dude.
Yes, Anos Voldigo, 100%. But
Yes, that's the. I love that show. Sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. Ms. What are your thoughts on demonic race?
I mean, demonic race itself is cool in concept. I enjoy when they appear if done correctly. I think it's definitely a race that, while obviously easy to portray as most of the time bad, obviously there's plenty of good demonics. Um, I think personally, I see it a bit too much, especially in some of the more recent animes. Not like super like this season, but the last couple seasons of animes, that's just been demons everywhere. And while they're cool to see visually, it makes sense and everything. I think we need to see more of them in a better light than what they currently are.
Mm-hmm.
One I just watched actually. I just finished it the other night. Roll Over and Die. I just finished that one.
Yes, yes,
There
very
were,
good anime.
yeah, I mean, can't be in a couple spots, not gonna lie, but the way they portrayed the demons in there, I actually really liked because it's like, no, we don't kill humans. you know, that was like one of their things, and they're being framed for it. So it's like, yes, that's a nice twist.
Yeah, I just wish we saw a lot more of the good side of the demon society
That's gonna be
than
season two. That's gonna be season two.
yeah.
The way they left it, and I'm not gonna go into that because this is my suggestion at least to go watch it.
It's definitely a It's hard to say whether I would classify it as a must watch, but I think for the genre it falls into, it does a really good job at storytelling.
And it avoids the harem situation. It's a
Yes.
all-female team, basically. You know, we do get a little bit the God, I suck with names. The dude from her original party that showed up towards the end. But it was definitely different than what I'm used to seeing. So that kind of sparked me on it.
I say yeah, you're talking about what's his name?
Got got. Started with a
I
G.
I know
Started with a G.
I know who you're talking about. Oh my gosh. I just didn't care for him too much to actually
Well, he was
remember.
only on screen for like maybe 15
Gene.
minutes.
Gene.
No. Gene was the bat. It was the the one with glasses that sold her away. Gaudio. Gaudio.
No, okay.
Gaudio with his broadsword.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Got
Yep,
it. Got
yep,
it.
yep.
I was thinking of someone else.
Yeah, I know which one you were thinking, and he's going to be a major pain in the ass in the next season.
I'm surprised he wasn't this season.
You know, instead of witches, I could have went sorcerer for a fucking warrior role because fairy tale. Enough said.
I would say War Mage would probably be more fitting for it.
Dude, have
Like-
you watched Gate?
Oh,
I've seen Gate, yeah.
Oh yes. War mage. Big axe. Big attitude, tiny body.
Yeah, I think War Mage would definitely fit the warrior aesthetic a bit more.
roll over and die, Ollie. Not telling you to do that.
Wow.
Same with the anime.
Wow. Wow, you can't talk to my people like that, you monster.
Oh, yeah. I walked into that one.
Gate's supposed to be getting another season 2. If you've not watched Gate, watch it. If you don't have Crunchyroll, it's on Hulu. And it's dubbed on Hulu. Gate is really good. Oh, Demons of the Shadow Realm has been so good so far. I think one of my favorite things about it is most animes within the first couple episodes are going to reveal to you the bad guy, right? We've yet to see him. And I think we're like 6 episodes in or something like that on this anime. And it's still hard to tell who's the actual bad guy in this anime. Because you sit there and you're like, oh, them. They're bad. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, maybe misunderstood. And then the other person that we thought was good is bad. And then you're like, oh, they're both not bad, but there is maybe an outside force that is bad. And then, like, the next episode, you're like, well, maybe that outside force is not so bad. We're 11 episodes in and we don't know who the bad guy is. Daemon of the Shadow Realm is an amazing anime. Go check it out, guys. It's so good.
I am scrolling through the upcoming list. Oh, another season of Jobless Reincarnation.
That's the one that I stopped. I stopped watching because it just got weird.
Yeah. But then you have Skeleton Knight in Another World season 2.
No way. What?
Skeleton Knight. I'm so
July
ready for
4th.
it too.
I'm
I'm so
Yes.
ready.
For
Yeah.
the sub airtime,
I
it's going to be
can't
July 4th. We don't know when the dub's going to come out, but
Yeah.
It's usually a week or two later.
Yeah. 2 weeks from now for season 2. I am so ready for it.
Wistoria, Wand, and Adventure.
I haven't gotten a chance to start season 2 of it, but based on how season 1 ended, I'm very curious on where they're gonna go with it.
It's so good. It's so good.
Oh. Sorry. I gotta catch up on that one. I think I watched the first 2 episodes. That was it.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
It's really
Wand and
good.
Wizard, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's Wand and Wizard.
And there's this one I brought up last night or the other night in our conversation, Ollie. Trapped in a dating sim, the world of Otami games is tough for Mob Season 2.
Oh, that's the one that has the mech.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
that's such a good one.
That's why I was
It's
like,
such a good one.
I want to see it keep going because I love the mech and the combat and everything. It was like such an enjoyable anime to watch. There was another.
I
oh, there's one
started
here.
rewatching some Gundam stuff. I'm back on Gundam 00.
Okay. I got to catch up on Gundam. I am so far behind.
Yeah, the Trapped in the Dating. So it took me a minute to watch that because I'm not big into all that like dating sim romance stuff. But
It was so good.
it's got that aspect in it, but it's more about here. See this shovel? I'm gonna bonk your face into the ground.
Yes. And let's see what is it? I can't say this word. Clebitus.
Oh, Clevitas was
Yeah,
amazing.
that was a really good
season
one as
2
well.
is July 8th. We got a new one from and this it sounds like it's going to be one of those standards from overshadowed to overpowered, second reincarnation of a talentless sage. So I feel like that's going to be a continuing on the normal isekai style, but I don't know, second reincarnation they could throw some twist in there.
You know what? We've had Truck Coon. We have even had Vending Machine Coon. But you know what we haven't had that would just be hilarious?
A
Porta
bidet?
John Coon.
I was thinking a bidet.
Porta John Coon. Give me. I got killed by a Porta John and reincarnated as one in the next life.
Should I be afraid that there's a magical girl lyrical Nanoa exceeds Gunblade's vengeance?
What?
Yeah. But the fact it starts with the words magical girl. I'm like, are we going back to that?
Oh, and keep an eye out. Sword Art Online Echoes of Aincrad drops on the 9th of next month. And I think I'm going to solely stream that here on the Why Superman Sucks channel.
Yep, July 10th.
So keep an eye out for YouTube streams of the SAO game.
Update your Steam to say July 9th because you'd get it in that you're in Japan, you get it on July 9th.
I think that's when it just drops in general. That's what it told me.
Well, it's the 10th for PlayStation,
It's the 10th.
Xbox, PC via Steam, but a digital launch is set for July 9th on PC and consoles in Japan. Because, it's theirs. They get to have it a day early.
So I recently restarted SAO Abridged.
Yes, and I will plug Something Wicked's YouTube because they do such an amazing job with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Of all the abridged I have watched, and I have watched many, that is still hands down so many years later still my favorite.
Really? You choose that over Hellsing Ultimate Abridged?
Yep. Yes, I do actually.
Wow.
Because they turned Kirito into the whiny bitch we all thought he was.
Okay, listen. So this is a hot one to try to figure out between you two, but half of me wants to agree Kirito is fucking hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're saying that he is better than Alucard from his abridged series, you might be on something.
I just my side.
Just between Kirito and the way they portrayed Asuna's like personality, how they totally switched it, and she's just a bitch. It was just it felt perfect. It felt fucking perfect.
I mean, don't get me wrong, SAO Abridged is great. I love it. I absolutely love it. But just the sheer amount of unhinged bullshit that is thrown around in Ultimate Helsing Ultimate Abridged. You want to talk about a character flop? You don't get a whole lot of words out of Alucard and Helsing in any of the Helsing animes. Like he talks, yes, but not in the manner in which you see him behave in the abridged.
I'll have to go back and
Not
watch that
anywhere
bridge again because
close.
it's been a while since I watched the Helsing one. I probably watch the SAO one every like at least once a year. I sit down and watch it when I need to
I
get
have a
time.
buddy that has a Christmas routine with his children, and they watch the Christmas episode of SAO Abridged on Christmas every year.
Honestly, kind of based.
Yeah. And Killer, I will say the abridged stuff. I mean, it's you could sit down and watch all of it in a night, both for SAO and for Helsing, until they keep going with the SAO one because they still got a lot to cover if they decide to keep going.
All right, Ms. Top three favorite animes in order from least favorite to most favorite. Hit me with it.
Top three. Okay. So number three, I would have to say, and this is simply for nostalgia purposes, I would say Naruto, just
Mhm.
because while I don't believe any of the newer stuff is good, in my
Mhm.
opinion, okay, it's a nostalgia feel. I grew up on it. I can't leave it out of the top three. Number two, I would probably put, and just because I like the building aspect of it, would honestly probably be reincarnated as a slime, just because I like when, especially reincarnation stories, do more than just feature around the character and their problems, and now that this character is strong, no one wants to mess with them, but instead I get to see an entire society built from the ground and relate to the characters and everything. It's a really cool feeling. um Number one, and this has been very unpopular since I was growing up, would probably be Chivalry of a Failed Knight.
Ooh,
It is a it is short, only 12 episodes long, but I there's something about, especially the fight scenes in that anime,
mhm.
something about just I love underdog stories in general, but you put underdog mixed with sword versus magic on top of a romance, oh my gosh. Something just tickles my fancy with it every time.
This is a good pick. Those are good picks. Um, all right, Lord, least to worst, least to best.
Oh, Jesus. Animes?
Yep.
Fuck. Uh, and the problem is I still draw a lot off of my early days. So for me, those tops are always going to be Try Again and Cowboy Bebop. And I know you're shaking your head at me right now, but a lot of that is the nostalgia of it. Um, I don't know, with all the newer stuff I've been watching though, you I do put Jack of all trades up there. I really want to see more of that.
Oh, it's so good.
I did not think I was gonna get
That
that.
black dragon fight.
I didn't think I was gonna get that hooked into it. To be honest, I was like, okay, it's gonna be kind of standard, and nah, it blew me away. So I was really looking forward to some more of that. The wrong way to use healing magic is definitely gotten up there. Hell, I mean, it all depends on my mood. Because like if I want to laugh, I want Mashal. I want another season of Mashal. Um, Worse though, Jesus. Uh, Damn. I might have to pull up my Crunchyroll list. Jeez. Yeah, because I've gone through some, and there's. I mean, I'll even admit to the fact that I have watched Tale of Wedding Rings. Let's see here. I have several on the list I've watched like that. I will say like Sentence to be a Hero.
Ooh,
I
that's a good one.
That's a
see
take.
it's just not hit me yet. I'm only on episode
Mhm.
3, but I'm not feeling it yet. So I'm hoping it kind of turns around some more. Um,
Okay.
I
Well,
was
here's my 3.
I was not
Oh,
a big
good.
fan of Fairy Tale. I did get into it later, but it just seems to be a lot of repetition to me.
So my 3, um, least to best, and this is going to throw some people for a loop because my least is one of my favorites, but in this list that I'm giving, it doesn't hit number 1. So we have Bleach. I love Bleach. Bleach is such a great anime. It is so absolutely amazing. I love Bleach, but Bleach would be at my least. In the spot above Bleach is World Break Aria of Curse for a Holy Swordsman. An absolute amazing anime. I love animes where uh, they pull moderately from real world history and then tweak it to match the world narrative. Uh, and they do that in this. Watch the anime. It's really good. It's really great. But my number 1, my absolute favorite anime of all time that I would pick over everything, and this here, first off, I will give it to you, give you the reason why it's my favorite. I have a hard time rewatching animes. Like once I watch something, my brain is like, we're done. There's no need to go back to that. We're moving forward, right? But I have rewatched this anime over a dozen times, and it is Kenichi, the Mightiest Disciple. Hands down, my absolute most favorite anime ever.
I can't even hate on that because tied with Trivia of a Failed Knight for me for number 1, I was really debating on it, was Wise Man's Grandchild.
Ooh,
Ooh, really
yeah,
good,
yeah, I like that
really
one.
good.
That was one I loved. Damn, I just had to add stuff to the list. Thanks, Betty. Because having over 100 anime on my freaking Crunchyroll to watch list isn't enough. No, no.
Well, you are welcome. Glad we can help you out here.
Oh,
Shook, yes, because again, look, like I said, Bleach is one of my favorite anime of all time. Like it's the anime that got me. Because mind you, I grew up with all this stuff, but I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to it. Like I was a big sports guy before I became a big nerd. It wasn't until the military that I really started picking up nerdy stuff. Like I dabbled in comics and all that, but um, so I grew up with like I had it all, but God, I couldn't even tell you when. But Bleach is what got me back into anime and put me down the path to other uh, animes that uh, I now enjoy watching. So,
oh,
like, I could have gone with the Gundam series too, because that also really anchored me into the anime world.
but there's so much to that, though. I mean, because it spans so long.
Yeah, that is
And
a nutshell you have to force open practically.
yeah, I could have you talk to one of my friends. That's literally like he is Gundam everything,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
we've had the conversations. And I will not lie, I have gotten headaches trying to keep track of the different aspects of the timeline, and especially the way they put
Yeah,
shit out.
it gets nutty. It gets nutty.
But the other one, definitely to think about too, is ReZero. And I say that because that one has the new season come August. They're getting the new season. All right, you both went quiet on ReZero, so apparently,
Here's my thing. I've never been able to make it past the second episode of the first season.
Yeah, I'll be real with you on that one. I got maybe to episode 4.
okay, well, this sucks because I
And
got to episode 5, and I was really counting on you guys for me to bring up the fact that this was getting a new season and you to know more
well,
about
so
it.
so so overall, I think the anime is fine, right? For me personally, I don't see myself getting into it too much, but as a anime enthusiast, but someone who watches a lot of anime, and I read comments and see what people say and everything, I believe, based on word of mouth at this point, that it sounds like a really good anime. Is it for me? Probably not. I've tried a couple times to get past it, but I definitely struggle with it. And I'm not sure why I struggle with it.
I don't know, it was not able to hook me like so many other ones were able to do.
Yeah, like it doesn't seem bad. It's just for some reason I can't stick with it.
That's fair.
It's okay. No matter what, all of our opinions are need to be taken into account because that's more anime we got to force Raider to watch.
Exactly. We need tiebreakers. We didn't like it. Show it to Raider. She'll like it. She'll like it.
Raider, you're in charge now.
I don't like this plan.
I don't like this plan either. We're not doing that. I'm putting my foot down on that. No.
But she's an unbiased opinion. She is not distracted by the other ones we have watched to compare it to.
Nope. Let her get through the 2 that she's on right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking like fucking set her up on it immediately right now.
Because right now we had her on Bleach. We put a pause on Bleach. And now she's on Black Clover because we're going to be getting ready to start diving into a bunch of stuff with that as it gets closer to the release for the new season.
Which I am catching up. I'm on 134. So, how many more do I have to go on that?
It's a lot. There's a lot of episodes. What are your overall thoughts so far, Raider, on Black Clover?
I have a lot of questions. Like, I'd love to know the histories of like who the parents are. I have like suspicions. I find it interesting about him not having magical abilities and then suddenly having this grimoire. But overall, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so the next podcast we will dive into your questions and stuff on it. I want you to get a little further in the season. So, let's see here. All right, we'll do one last big one here. All right, Ms. If you could revive any anime, bring it back to life, fix the stuff that was wrong with it, and throw it back out for the world to reconsume. You can only pick one, and you got to tell me why. Which one?
Oh man, that's tough. So it has to be an anime that is considered dead.
Yep.
I'm gonna need a second to think on this. There's a lot of good choices here if we're talking if we're talking able to just straight up fix it entirely
Yep.
and make it popular. Mm. What about Silver? Silver, you can answer this first. I gotta think
Oh,
long and hard on
no,
this
I've
one.
got mine because it is one
But
of I can't believe I didn't mention it before, but it is one of my favorites.
Go ahead, cause I got to think on mine.
Outlaw Star,
Okay.
because the story was really great behind it. I love the mechanics because it really did kind of blend some aspects of Trigun and like Cowboy Bebop that I loved. You had the space faring and you had magic, and it was great. But it just ended too soon. There are parts of the story that kind of just got cut off, massive plot holes that never got answered, and I think it's because they were expecting to do more and then they didn't. Um, so yeah, if I could bring that one back, I mean, I don't even think that one is streaming anywhere. I know it's not on Crunchyroll, at least not in the U.S.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. I think I got mine.
All right.
All right. So it's a relatively newer anime that I do not believe is doing very hot right now, which sucks because the concept of it is amazing. But I am thoroughly enjoying Shibo Yugi. Playing death games to put food on the table.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very interesting spin to animes that we haven't really seen in the past, where the main character is basically playing Saw games, like the movie Saw games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and every episode so far, you're being introduced to like new characters being added in, or sometimes every other episode, depending on how deep the story is for those characters. But I do not believe that the main character is getting enough of a spotlight. We are still very confused on um, what the whole purpose of this is, how much they're actually getting paid for doing these games, what actually happens to the people that don't survive the death game, because I'm not going to spoil anything. It doesn't look like they die, but they do, and it's really confusing to me. um, I love it personally. I think that it's a very good watch for people that do like, the Saw movies and things like that, but want it in anime form. I think it's actually a really good watch. It's just a bit confusing for no reason. And I think if they touched up on some things, redefined the characters, gave a little bit more backstory to who we're actually like walking through these game events with, I think it could take off in a unique way that we haven't really seen in modern anime as of late.
Mm-hmm. Mobile Fighter G Gundam.
of course.
I knew you were gonna say something Gundam wise.
Yep.
Mobile
But
Fighter G Gundam.
but is it dead?
Yes.
I would consider it dead.
We
Okay.
have had we've had other iterations of Gundam, yes, but we have not had another Mobile Fighter G Gundam was unique because it it was set on the premise that the way we are going to handle the conflict instead of an all-out war is these 1v1 Gundam fights. All right? That's how we're going to decide the world of well, at this point the universe was going to be governed. And they just end it, right? You get the fight with the Dark Gundam, and then they don't explain if balance is brought to the universe, or if the fights are still going on and how those are being run. There's so many plot holes that are left open and never closed. Bring it back. Bring it back, and you don't even have to do much after bringing it back. We're back to fighting for who is going to be the sole ruler, president, whatever you want to call them, of the universe again. And then you can work through all the plot holes you left open.
Okay.
Mobile Fighter G Gundam. With that, though, it has been a wild one, you guys. I hope you've had as much fun as I know we have had, we are going to toss this off to Raider and Lord, and we're going to start closing it out.
I don't know why you're surprised, Lloyd. This has become a thing.
I know. I need to get something down, you know. I just
Well,
thought we were
thank
going
you
to hit Star
guys.
Wars too, though. But I guess we will save that for next time.
Yeah, it's been a long one.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for showing up. Thank you so much for your input with the verses. We look forward. Don't forget, drop down in the comments if you want to see us do some more verses and who these matchups you might want to see be between. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. It is free to do all of the above, so press all of the buttons. We love you all, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. TBD on that because I did just realize that's July 4th, so we need to check,
Very
make sure
true.
we're
Ooh,
good.
that's my birthday weekend.
Yeah, so we
Mm.
might have to make some changes, but make sure you are following us here on the YouTubes because we'll put something in the community on that as well as we try to put the episodes up in advance so you can see them, hit that notify on them, as well as you can keep an eye out on whysupermansucks.com as we're getting the site together there. Information will be there as well. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, like Raider said, because we like having you here. We love the input, and thank you for being part of the conversation because we can't do this without you.
Until next time.